Okay, welcome everybody. You guys look great. It's good to see you. If you have a second, if you wouldn't mind just muting, I think everyone's muted, but we're gonna go ahead and start off with everyone muted for the time being. So there's not the background noise and everything. My name is Kate Kershaw. I'm the Director of Membership and Marketing Partnership, with the KCK Chamber of Commerce. Glad you guys are here today. So this has been something we've been really excited and a long time coming, really, is to really, we've enjoyed partnering and getting to know our local neighborhood business revitalization organizations. If you're not familiar with them, I'm hoping you're going to get a great update and understand just the true resource that they are within the community. There are 8 NBRs in our Wyandotte County area. We're going to hear from 5 of them today, all with just an update on what's going on in their local pockets in the community. With that being said, I'll go ahead and turn it over. So you're going to hear from everyone for about 5 minutes or so. Feel free to use the chat box down there to ask your questions, and then so we're not interrupting our speakers. And then at the end, there'll be time for open conversation. So Daniel, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, and want to kind of introduce and kick it off?
Yeah, sure thing. Hello everyone, Daniel Silva, President and CEO of the KCK Chamber of Commerce. Thanks again for joining us today. I'm definitely very excited about today's webinar. Looking forward to hearing updates, from the ground. Really want to be in tune with what's going on with you all. Thank you for being a partner with the KCK Chamber. I want to give kudos to Kate for really spearheading this effort and building the relationships with you all. We want to be a proactive partner. We want to be a good partner. So if there's anything else that we can do as an organization, please let us know. We don't profess to have all the answers, but we want to make sure that this chamber is representative of the entire community, not just the big businesses, small businesses, and the community at large. So if there's something that we can do to be of assistance, please let us know. That's my spiel. I do want to turn it over at this point. We do have a speaker order. Great lineup. Looking forward to hearing from everyone. First up, we have from Rosedale Development Association, Aaron Stryka. Hi, Aaron. Yeah, there you are.
For that introduction, Daniel, and thank you all for having me today. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces. I'm Aaron Stryka. I'm Executive Director of Rosedale Development Association. Rosedale, if you don't know, is the southeastern corner of KCK. We cover the 66103 zip code plus KU, which gets its own zip code. And we have a pretty wide variety of people's circumstances going into all this. So before the pandemic started, we worked with a lot of people who were already kind of on the edge, and we worked with a lot of people who had been stable and working for most of their lives and had never really needed help before. So in the early days of this pandemic,
Aaron, if I may jump in.
What we were doing at first is helping people access help from systems that they'd never really navigated before. And this is especially, we had a ton of people who had been servers and restaurants who all of a sudden needed help getting access to food. Oh, I see the Yep.
Okay. Aaron's going to call back in via her phone.
Yep.
I just have a little bit of connection issues.
I'm going to turn off my video. Does that help much?
No. Can you just call back in? We'll come back to you. We don't want to miss what you have to say, so we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll go through the order, and then we'll save you for last, if that's okay. Okay, now without further ado, turning it over to Turner Community Connections with Chandra Ward.
Oh,
I'm going to call in on my cell phone. Daniel, if you want to move that to the second person, that would be great.
Well, hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
yes.
Hopefully. Okay. Well, I'm
Yes,
Chandra
definitely.
Ward with Turner
Okay,
Community
nice to
Connection.
meet
Let's see. Is she trying to get back on?
I think her phone is still trying to, it's still catching up. I think it's very slow.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead, if that's okay, and try and share my screen with everybody. Okay, can folks see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Well, again, I'm Chandra Ward with Turner Community Connection. I'm glad to be here, so thank you to the Chamber for the invitation. But real quickly, just wanted to tell you a little bit about TCC and what we've been up to. So we cover the Turner School District area. So that's sort of south the county line, to the east, probably about 38th-ish. We kind of blur the lines with Argentine. North, probably to 70. We cross over a little bit into state, and then west probably out to about 78th Street. So we work with, everybody in between our areas and of course with the other NBRs, but some of the things that I just wanted to highlight, this virus has impacted everybody one way or another. So some things that we've been able to continue to do is work with our school district. We offer scholarships to Turner students. So we've still been able to continue doing that. They've helped us a lot in regards to getting our information out. We've continued to work with our residents in regards to helping them stay in their homes when it comes to code issues are not impacted by the virus. People are still getting notifications about chipping paint, excess debris or what have you in their yards. So we've been able to partner with, the codes department, Shepherd Center of KCK, to help people with some of those issues and kind of delay some of those costs associated with their codes issues. We continue to work on our summer program, our summer youth program that we have in partnership with BPU. That has definitely been impacted by the virus. That program for us is primarily funded by BPU. And those funds right now are kind of up in the air. So we don't know if we're going to get them or not. But we're still working as if we are. It might be on a kind of condensed version. We typically serve about 18 kids every summer with that program. So maybe we won't be able to serve as many, but we still anticipate having that program this year. We were scheduled to have a neighborhood cleanup that we had to postpone because of the virus. So essentially everything that we're doing is still going to happen. It's just going to happen at a later date than we anticipated. So we're still moving along as best we can and helping the folks in the ways that we can, since the social distancing is such a major piece of us being able to actually get work done. But that's kind of what we've been up to. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put something in the chat, and I'm happy to help or answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Chandra. We'll do questions afterwards. Up next, we have an update from Armordale Renewal Association. Monica Mendez, are you with us? There she is. Monica, it says that you're unmuted, but we can't hear you. You want to check your volume on your computer? Or your mic? Mm-mm. We still can't hear you, Monica. Do you want us to come back to you?
Yes, please.
Oh, there you go. Okay, are you okay or?
Yes, if you can hear me, that's good.
Go for it.
Okay. Wow, I thought I was gonna be Erin, the one with issues on the computer. I am going to share my screen, and I'm also having a lot of practice with sharing screen. Hopefully I share the appropriate one. I am with Armourdale Renewal Association, and not long ago, I joined this wonderful neighborhood. We have also been impacted by the COVID-19. The organization has been trying to restructure itself, and some of the events that were organized for this year have been affected. Like we had to cancel the cleanup day for Armourdale. We also canceled the golf tournament. This is the 12th anniversary of the tournament this is a big fundraiser and important for our association as it helps with some of the programs. As many of the other organizations, we also have the summer camp during the month of June, and we canceled the gathering of all of the kids for the program, but we're still planning a jam-packed program. That's the name of this program. It will be monitored by me, and it's gonna have fun activities for kids to do over the summer. I'm gonna share this map. So for some people sometimes don't know where our neighborhood boundaries are, and I have learned through this small map, you can see where Armourdale sits. It's an interesting small neighborhood where I'll say half of it is a lot of businesses, 16 restaurants, a lot of industries, and the neighborhood side, it's a lot of Latino residents as well, among others. So one of the things that we have as an asset in our community is definitely the river. Having the river, it open up for many physical activity. We have a community center that hopefully after everything passed is reopened to the community. And I want to share a last visual. As we are restructuring, we have been creating connections with the businesses side, with the residents. We're utilizing a lot of our emails for that, and as well a lot of our social media, which is just Facebook so far. Can you see my screen now? So this is our Facebook page, and I like to promote our page so everyone, the most viewers we have, but you can see we have a magnificent river. We have been serving the community with information about COVID-19, about food resources in the community, and providing information about measurements and hours of service of businesses. A lot of the industries in this area are helping the local business by ordering food and bringing the lunch to the business. They're not letting employees to go outside, but little by little, we have been creating those connections between business, association, and back to the industry side. I think we have a lot of work to do, and I am eager to learn from a lot of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica, and good luck with your youth gathering. I hope it all comes together just how you want and it works out well for the kids. And it's in June. It takes place in June.
Yes, I think we're opening registrations next week. It's gonna be during the month of June.
In June. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So next we have Dejan Hinsman with Groundswork NRG, which was formerly the Historic Northeast Midtown Association. I think that's correct. So you guys always have great stuff going on. I'm going to unmute you or, okay. Are we good? Yeah. So go ahead and turn it. Yeah, go ahead and turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. So yes, we were formerly HMA, which is what you have probably heard. And we transitioned to Groundwork Energy in February. So basically we are now adopted into this national network of local nonprofits who are focused on revitalization in urban neighborhoods. So we have done a little bit of organizational restructuring so that we fit the needs of Groundwork. And NRG stands for Northeast Revitalization Group. We like to say energy because we want to bring energy back to the community. We mostly represent the Northeast and Midtown areas of KCK. And of course, everyone has been impacted by COVID-19. And our organization has mostly been trying to provide support and resources to the community. So we created a web page on our website, and we realized that not everyone has access to internet, or if they may not have a computer. So we also took it a little bit old school and started phone communication as well. And I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, it says that screen sharing is disabled.
Oh.
What about now?
There it goes.
Okay, great.
All right, so we've started what we call our Dial a Neighbor campaign. And so we are reaching out to residents, making sure that they have what they need, that they're okay mentally, emotionally, really just being a listening ear to our residents. And also, since the census launched at the first of last month, we're also sharing information about that and encouraging Wyandotte County to pledge to take the census and complete the census. So we are looking for volunteers if you want to give back to the community and hop on a call and check on your neighbors. I'll put my email into the chat if you want to do that. But yeah, we just want to make sure that we're there for our service area and share resources while we can. And then the next thing also related to that is we partner with KC Healthy Kids and asking families with young children what they actually need during this time, because they have been impacted, and we just want to hear from them and see what resources would they like to see instead of I guess assuming what they need. So if you know of families that would like to participate in this, you get a $20 gift card as well as a voucher to Split Log Farms. for participating in engaging with us about your needs. And that is all for Groundwork Energy.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Yes. And I'll go ahead and say, I said it in the chat that any of our NBRs, if they've got information or links or resources or things like that, you want to share with the group, just email me after this event, and I can forward on. Especially looking for volunteers or ideas and things like that. We're happy to help promote and support the program you guys have going. Can we go circle back to Erin? Is she on, Shrika? Did Erin get back on? Let me see here.
I am on. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. You sound a lot better. Erin, we'll just go ahead and get you in representing Rosedale.
Thank you for your patience with me. I apologize for that.
That's okay.
So in the immediate term, what we're working on right now is we've done a lot of kind of emergency relief for families in Rosedale. We have quite a few volunteers delivering groceries to people who are at higher risk for the virus. And in fact, right now I have more volunteers than I have people willing to accept help, which is sometimes a Rosedale problem. So we're definitely still taking volunteers, but we're also taking if you have neighbors or people who are in need of help, please send them to me as well. Like several of the organizations, we canceled our spring cleanup day, but instead we're doing what we're calling Working Wednesday, where we're encouraging people on Wednesdays to go out alone at 6 feet of distance from others and just clean up something in the neighborhood, pick up trash, cover some graffiti, plant some flowers, cut back some vegetation. And just kind of do some neighborhood beautification as we can safely right now. Going forward, I think, again, like many of you, we're really still figuring out the full picture of what it's going to take to get Rosedale back on its feet. So some of the things we know is we have a lot of folks who are going to be in need of emergency assistance with groceries, with rent, utilities, and we have funding available for all of that. We know that we're going to need to get Rosedale back to work. And so before this all started, we launched a Rosedale job board. It's at rosedaljobs.org. And it is free for KCK businesses to post jobs on. And of course, it's free for job seekers too. So we'll be hoping to connect jobs with job seekers going forward. And then we are still planning to have our summer youth employment program. We're anticipating that it may be a little bit smaller, and typically we place youth at a Rosedale business for a first summer job, so that yes, I can post that job link, thanks. We place youth at a Rosedale business for their first summer job. Businesses in Rosedale may or may not have the capacity for that right now. So even if we don't have enough placements for the kids, they're just going to be our neighborhood cleanup crew, and I'll be chasing them around, making them work hard. We also typically have a Rainbow Summer program, which is usually 100 kids, K through 8, all day, every day for 6 weeks, focused on literacy and financial literacy. That's obviously not going to be safe to do this summer. So what we're going to be doing instead is a grab and go meal site for breakfast and for lunch. And along with meals, we're going to send home weekly activity boxes for the kids that follow what the theme of the program would have been. So what we were planning is, for example, the first week we would read books about food and healthy eating. And we would do gardening and healthy cooking classes and food budgets. We would be doing a lot of food-related programming. Instead, you're going to get your books about food and healthy eating in your box, as well as a bag of groceries and some recipes and some cooking implements. And then we'll do the program remotely, but with having the kids have physical stuff. So that's what will be going on this summer. And then I think we're just going to be having a lot of conversations as a community about what we need and what we're going to do to get everybody back on track. Thanks, Rachel, for posting the Rosedale Jobs link on the chat. And thank you all very much for everything you're working on.
Thank you so much, Erin. I'm glad that worked out because you had some great information to share. To wrap up our panel of speakers, we have Edgar Galicia representing the Central Avenue Betterment Association. And Edgar, go ahead and share your update.
Hi, everybody. First of all, let me see. Can you hear me? Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity to share what the NBRs do and how we operate. I'm very active with the chamber and all over the place. So I will refer everybody to our website in order to get details on our programming and what we have done in the past and we hope to do in the future. Central Avenue Betterment Association, as everybody else, is having a hard time promoting, producing, staying the course because so many changes and so many of our programs are very presence-based, participating activities, meetings, getting to know and visit people in their offices and understanding how things function. And so that with the stay at home and all of these restructuring and challenges, health challenges, puts us all back. And so as many of our sister organizations, we are postponing a lot of it to the second half of the year in hopes that we can deliver, in hopes that we can move forward. Technology, science, whoever, grace helps us, and we can actually start operating more often. Right now, seems like we're catching a break, and honestly, I truly hope, personally, I truly hope that this sickness slows down and we're able to continue getting a hold on it. But we don't know. Nothing is there. When we're looking for ways to do some digital, we're looking for ways to continue being in contact with our community, and we became a information hub and a way to reach everybody in the Latino Spanish speakers population, in all of our neighborhood groups, et cetera, et cetera. So we continue working just at a different pace and with different purpose right now, but always keeping the community safe. Our plans are to continue, or plans are to start working in the youth program, hopefully this summer. And if anybody from BPU is present, and all of you can help us here, we need funding. We need funding for the youth programs. And I'll tell you why this is important. How about homeschooling? Has anybody of you enjoyed homeschooling? Let me tell you, our parents are hurting. They need to go back to work. They need to go and get busy and go out, have a break. Our summer courses and programs are very much needed today. We need to take responsibility and help the parent teachers that are at quarantine right now and give them a break. They're calling us. Can you take our kids? Can you do something? Are you doing this program this summer? What are the plans? We need funding, and BPU can help us. BPU belongs to the community, can help the community, should help the community, is doing a lot. BPU is doing a lot. But the summer youth program that BPU help us put together needs to happen. So the voices out there, everybody, you heard everybody saying, we plan on doing something no matter what, we will. But we could use the help. And we could use the help in every other corner where we operate. But obviously, all of this help has become hard to get, and we need to step back a little as well. Thank you for this window, because this is very important. I don't know of any other organization that has actually given the NBRs this opportunity to come to the forefront and talk to people about what all we do. I don't know if it is enough. I don't know if it is much, but we do it with our hearts. We do it with everything we can, and we need help. So please, if you want to know more about CABA, please, cabakck.org, cabakck.org. You can learn about our programs. You can learn about everything we do and we've done. We are a 43, 44-year-old organization that has been here, working and participating and helping. We just need to continue going. And I truly hope for all of our NBRs to count with everybody's help. Thank you.
Edgar, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I posted your website on there. That's great. We really appreciate hearing from anyone. Did I miss anyone as we kind of got off the order there on providing an update? No? Okay. Let's see. In terms of questions, Kendra had a question. Is anyone representing or familiar with the Riverview neighborhood? In regarding, she has a question that's related out of the families that are in public housing. Kendra, I'm gonna unmute you so you can ask the question or more clearly.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name's Kendra Wyatt, and I'm the owner of New Birth Company. We're the freestanding birth center that's located at 31st in Minnesota, if you haven't heard of us. So we're providing prenatal care and actual birth, natural childbirth for low-risk moms. I'm just observing for some of our vibrant immigrant communities. I know we could do a better job in interacting with the leaders, de facto leaders of the communities. And I'm reaching out to this group. If you know somebody who knows somebody, especially from our African immigrant community, I don't want us to turn into the blame game. That is not fair. And I just see from our perspective as a provider, still, everybody's in recovery mode. We're still in the trenches, and there's still active positive cases going on right now. So I'm just looking to reach out, because the more we reach out and the more we do grassroots, the less anyone or any community will be demonized. And so I'm just asking for your all's help. So it's the Riverview community. There's some public housing that's kind of backed, in the back there. And it would be where many of our new immigrant families would be settled. We're already reaching out to Jewish vocational services and Catholic charities, but I'll just put a general request for the business community's help in connecting the dots. If you know anybody who know anybody, give me a call, or my email's there. Thank you.
Thank you, Kendra. That's a great question and important too. Is there any answers or any feedback on her question or what she's looking for?
I just want to ask Kendra, I have a Congolese church that meets in our building, and they all speak Swahili and extremely little English. And I'm really, really concerned about how they are understanding what all is happening. And I'm having a hard time. And they don't wear protective mask or whatever. Do you have someone there that speaks Swahili that I could put them in touch with?
I'm going to say a couple things. So Chamber, I'm talking to, where's Daniel? Daniel.
Ma'am.
Daniel, you call the health department and connect these dots, because when the chamber starts saying we need to connect the dots, then they're going to listen. Yes, I'm aware of some people personally, but I have to tell you, I am asking the same questions, Mary Beth, because right now, because of the, hey, it all has to be phone calls. Well, guess what? That means they're using a translator service, which highly likely is coming from California, not even local resources, which is ridiculous. That means we're sending our money to California and no one understands what's actually going on in community. So we can do much better. And just so you know, Daniel, I'm like, I've been on the phone twice today with the, you know, the people inside Wyandotte Health Department who I think are struggling with just the volume of what's going on. So they're spread very thin. I mean, it's the same thing you've heard everywhere. We don't invest in public health, and now it's all coming home to roost. But what I do know is, like I mentioned, Catholic Charities and Jewish Vocational Services, they are the people that already had contracted with our local translation and Somali resources. So, oh my gosh, yes, we need to connect this dot very, very quickly. So Mary Beth, I will just tell you, I'm kind of on the hunt myself to connect back with the people that typically are able to do this from a local level. And they've just really been shunted aside because of the mandate, oh, only use phone calls. And then it becomes a call center, which is the opposite thing we need. Even if it's still a phone call, we can do this, or we can like be on FaceTime, or at least use local resources so we all know what's going on at the neighborhood level. And I'm like, Daniel, get up.
Will do. And I was looking for Commissioner Bynum. She was on the call earlier. Hopefully she caught that as well, but we'll relay the message for sure.
Okay, help connect the dots. And Mary Beth, I'm just going to say, send me your email or your phone number, because I will connect directly to you on this.
Great. Wonderful. Mary Beth, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I don't represent a neighborhood, but Young Women on the Move is in the Mount Hope neighborhood. So I will just say that for our organization, and we work primarily with middle school and high school girls in KCK, we've had to cancel most everything, especially the trip to Washington, D.C. this summer that we've worked so hard on for all of the girls to spend a week there learning about government and democracy. But in the meantime, we're spending a large amount of our time really trying to make sure our girls are getting the emotional support they need and trying to stay connected, but also focusing on their parents. And we've been delivering school supplies for them because, you know, they kind of left in a sudden right at spring break, and they need pencils, they need paper, they just, but they also need encouragement. Learning by Zoom is not the very best way for them to learn, and there's a lot of, you might say, resentment that all of this has happened. I find that a few of the young ladies are kind of finding that they are learning better because there's not all of the peer pressure and the toxicity of having to go to school, but they're also not spending a lot of time on schoolwork either. They're learning Zoom is the best way to stay online all day talking to their friends. And so I'm really concerned, and I know this is happening on a national level, that our kids are losing, probably it's going to be a good year of learning at a critical time in their lives. And our parents are overwhelmed, and I think there's still a lot of misinformation going around. things that the parents don't quite understand or how to deal with. And so we're just trying to be a support for them, but also to our community. And so we have in our community, we have housebound, elderly, as well as families. We're finding that a lot of people have lost their jobs. So we don't have the capacity currently to do, have a big distribution program, but we've started a Friday Dinner on Us program, and where we're serving about 100 people, kids and parents and elderly housebound, every Friday, nutritious, delicious meal that they drive by reservation and pick up, or we deliver to their homes. And we're trying to partner with our partners such as Thrive, and Monica has been a big help with that. And we're targeting those kids and families, many of them, a few, well, I don't know how many actually, but who maybe have not called to reserve, but they don't have a way to get there. So the Thrive staff is going to be helping me to deliver meals to them. And we're just finding the parents are being so appreciative of this. I think what we're trying to do with this is more than just giving them cans of food, but to give them some encouragement and support, and just love, and just to help them know that we're all in this together. So that seems to be growing about 25% every week. And we're fortunate to have support of After the Harvest is donating fresh produce that they have gleaned from the fields and from the producers. And we have a chef who is a semi-retired master chef who's doing the preparation, and is going to be developing cooking videos for our kids so that they can be learning to cook in their homes with kits that we provide to them so they can feed their families.
That's awesome. Mary Beth, did you want to share with the group the other partnership, or do you not want to share that right now? The other partnership that we had talked about this morning for computers. You need to unmute.
About,
I'm sorry, we missed that. What was that?
okay, is this the partnership you're talking about the computers?
Yes, if you don't want to share it with that, it's just what we had talked about this morning, but that's okay.
Yes.
But I thought it was pretty cool.
Well, I'm in the process of working with Rachel Merlot of Google Fiber to get access to desktop computers that would be through Connecting for Good for families that need that. And then the possibility of getting Chromebooks that would be on loan to families who need those. And I know the school district has distributed to the kids their Chromebooks. But what we're finding is there are parents who don't have those. And if everybody in the family is trying to be on, then that's hard. Rachel couldn't help me with this one issue that we're finding that several of our families don't have the bandwidth. And there's even been issues with some of our families, the landlords not allowing Spectrum or whoever to even get into their house to install it. So it's not as simple as we had thought.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, Randy had posted, Randy Lopez had just posted earlier that there's going to be, I can never slide this thing very well, a testing in the chat there. There's going to be a testing site tomorrow. Let me see here. I never pull this up quite well. Pop-up testing tomorrow, May 7th at First Baptist Church, and Friday, May 8th at St. Patrick's Church. So Randy, thanks for sharing that information. That's real helpful. So all of you, please share that with your contacts. Let's see. Any more? Oh, thank you, Amanda, for sharing the information on immigrant and refugee populations. There's a Facebook, looks like there's a Facebook link for that for Kansas City. Let's see. So, we've heard from everybody. Is there any questions that haven't been asked already, or clarification or anything you want to share? Daniel?
Yeah, thanks, Kate. And sorry, I got booted off earlier. Was having technical issues as well. The question for the groups, how are your businesses faring? I know that, as a chamber, we really try to touch the entire business community if possible. But, you all are working with these folks day in and day out. How are the folks on Central Avenue doing? How are the folks along Minnesota doing? And I'm talking about the small business owners, the minority, women business owners. There's a big concern for them. How are they doing? What can we do to help them? Just want to get a pulse.
A lot of them on the avenue. Oh, hold on. Are you there? Yeah, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have been talking to a lot of the businesses on the avenue and in our area, the downtown area, Strawberry Hill, all of the rest of the neighborhoods. And I guess they are beyond the point of fear. Now they're beyond at the point of worriness. They're very worried about not being able to come back because of finances, not being able to finance their startup. There was a lot of frustration in the PPE or PPP program when they apply, because we tried to get them ready. Some of them had their documentation ready. Some of them didn't have a thing. And so we helped them as much as possible. And very few of them, I would say from every 20 businesses that apply, only one got it in the first round. And so that was tough. Now on the second round, we got better numbers. They were in sync with banks. The banks knew what they were doing, and we had better results, but still not to the amount of having a truly conscious knowledge of the restart being guaranteed. That's a challenge. So funding is one thing. Obviously, moving forward with administrative or business administration classes, seminars, whatever we can give them so that they can be better administrators of their business rather than just work in their business and service their customers. Learn about finances, learn about fiscal strategies, learn about anything that helps them drive these businesses to a better stage. We need to do a lot more of that.
Thank you, Edgar. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Dejan with Groundwork. And so we've heard time and time again that even after the reopening, it's not going to go back to normal. There will be a new normal. And so we really are trying to provide encouragement during this time, because it can be easy to get weighed down. And so for our businesses, we've shared different funding streams that they could possibly apply for, and also getting them in connection with local funding or local resources for funding. So telling them about the new programs that AltCap has launched, the grant with the UG, and just also asking for feedback. If you are getting a dead end with these funding organizations and you want some assistance, we're here for that as well. And also collecting that data to see, if the response is unique or if we're getting many responses with the same issues. So just trying to be a resource as much as possible and helping people navigate through this. and also hearing from them so that we can establish what our new normal will be and what capacity that we need to be there for the businesses.
Thank you.
Rachel, you had your hand raised there. So if you want to unmute and ask your question.
Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I see a lot of ups and downs. So I didn't really have a question, but I think someone had, hi, my name is Rachel. But I think someone had posted it in the chat box as well, but I publicly wanted to just encourage folks, especially the neighborhood associations, the NBRs that have not applied for the COVID-19 fund. If you are directly impacting your residents, or you have a summer program that you feel very passionate about. Right now, the fund is still in the relief stages, but as the next month goes on, I think we'll be moving to recovery. And those summer programming opportunities are definitely, I think, a part of that. But I will say that I haven't seen many of the NBRs that are on here. I know Aaron at Rosedale was granted, and that was publicly announced. But I would just strongly encourage folks to apply to that fund. It's not a long, drawn-out application process, but that's a great place to start, and we love to see Wyandotte be represented on there. Even Mary Beth trying to get the technology in the Chromebooks, explaining the reason why you're asking for additional Chromebooks, even though the school district has given them, because those Chromebooks come May 22nd may disappear, and we want to continue to have those educational opportunities. So I just wanted to give a plug for the fund, but also encourage folks that that is still a live and thriving thing, and that everyone should apply for it, even if you don't think it kind of fits your need. Maybe maybe you kind of have to look differently and think about how your program model will change. So maybe doing some outward thinking as well. So that's all I have.
And if
Great, Rachel, thank you. Yes, Randy, hang on one second. Rachel, could you put your contact information and just and who you represent so the group knows whatever you want to share in the group chat for us? Because that's a great, I'm glad you shared that. Thank you.
Yeah, I will put my email in there. I have so many affiliations in this Wyandotte County world, but I will put my contact information there. Randy is also, and I'm sure that's what he's about to do. He's one of the other representatives on the board. So I'm sure he has a plug or some extra information to give as well, but I'll put that information there. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. Okay, Randy.
No, awesome. Thank you, Rachel, for that. I would just piggyback on Rachel's comments to say, if you've already applied, maybe it's been a few weeks ago that you submitted an application, please contact Denise St. Omer. Maybe your priorities have shifted since you've originally applied for that fund, and there might be an opportunity for you to update the group in terms of what you actually need the funds for. Or maybe your priorities have shifted as an organization. So there may be an opportunity for you to update what that application looks like in the fund. And that would be very helpful as those applications are being considered. So please contact Denise St. Omer at the Community Foundation to do that if you've already applied. But yeah, I would just echo what Rachel said, especially our Wyandotte County orgs, their NBRs. Make sure you're looking into that fund and applying. We definitely want to see Wyandotte County represented.
Okay, awesome. Well, we wanted to make sure and get you guys out of here on time, and it's just now 2 o'clock. Is there any more last questions, or Daniel, do you want to say any last remarks?
Sure. Thank you, Kate. And again, thanks everyone for participating. Great information. Obviously, the need is still very much there, and having this pandemic layered on top of it's really causing a lot of stress for the community. Greg Kendall and I, and Greg's with the YDC, as you know, we serve on the Restart WICO Task Force. Hopefully you've seen that document. If you've not seen it, I dropped a link in the chat box. It's just some guidance for businesses that hopefully you can share with your folks on how to go about reopening and the things that they will need to do so where the risk is minimal. Again, not every place is going to be 100% safe, but we're trying to help minimize the risk as much as possible. And, you know, we provided input to the health department. And so they went ahead and put together kind of some procedures and criteria for businesses to follow as they think about reopening. You know, if you've not seen it, kind of, can you show your hand? Who has seen it? Can you raise your hand if you've seen it? Okay, a couple folks. Wow, okay, okay. So I just think we just got to keep getting the word out there to folks and getting this document in front of people because it's not just going to be on the business owner, right? I think there's going to be the guidance that we have to give the public as well as to how to interact and interface when they're stepping into a public place. And hopefully we will get through this together. That's all I have. I do see that we have Senator Pat Petty on the call. I always like to give our elected officials an opportunity to say hello or share some thoughts. Senator Petty, anything you'd like to share with us today?
It was great to hear from the NBRs. Thanks for the opportunity to say something, and thanks for your guys sharing. I would just share with you, which I'm sure it's not any big surprise, but so many of your needs are addressed through the ability to have access to funds that come through our local government or from the state government to our local government. So as you're talking with your community members, and we're looking at hopefully seeing some further federal money coming down, please encourage people to understand how important it is that that monies come to the local and state government, because without the funding, just as you're seeing an uncertainty about, like with the BPU money, there's a great impact on state and local budgets with businesses being closed and property taxes being at jeopardy, sales tax being jeopardized. So we really need to think about how can your support channel continue if you're seeing reduced funds coming to the local and state government. So I just would reach out to that. It was great to hear about the encouragement that's going out concerning the census. That's kudos to all of you for doing that, and continue to do that, because we are making little gains in Wyandotte County. We're now up to a little over 50% response, but we definitely need to see an overwhelming response. And the populations that you deal with are sometimes the ones that don't, feel tentative about sharing information. So encouraging them to fill out their census is good for all of us. Thanks so much for all your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Petty. That's it for me, Kate.
Okay, well, you guys have a great afternoon, and let's just keep the conversation going. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, Daniel or I, or Caitlin at the KCK Chamber, and we'll keep supporting and keep us posted on what's going on with you guys. Take care.